Good morning, everybody. We're going live. Ingwe Immigration, August 24th, 2021. We're here to answer all of your immigration-related questions. If anybody has any questions, you can post it on the comment section. We're here every Tuesday, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. We're live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Hello, Juju. And we're here to answer all of your questions, whether you're inside or outside Canada, studying, admissions, restorations, visitor visas, permanent residencies. We are here to help. The way it works, if this is your first time, you post your questions on the comment section and we'll answer it live. We're just trying to go live here on Facebook as well. So we are live on 3 platforms. Post your questions here in the comment section. We'll answer them. So if you're following our social media, you'll get all the updated immigration news. Express entry, 403 points for Canadian experience class. If you don't have 1 year Canadian experience class, work experience, you will not be eligible right now to be invited. You can enter the express entry pool if you have the other eligibility criteria, but you will not be invited. We expect this to change either end of this year or next year. So again, 403 points for Canadian experience class in express entry. In terms of processing times, right now, the embassies are trying to push and process study permits as fast as possible. So if you are overseas, you are looking to have your study permit approved or apply. Right now, they are processing for January intake period, right? January 2022, because September, obviously, the deadline was in May. If you're looking at applying for work permit or study permit from abroad, then you have to do it as quickly as possible, depending on when you need to be inside of Canada. If you're already inside of Canada, then it's easy because usually processing times for study permit renewals can be anywhere from 3 to 5, 6, 7 days. If there's no issues with your application, this is obviously very fast processing. Even before COVID, we did not have such fast processing times for inside of Canada. Postgraduate work permits, we are looking at 1 month right now, but again, there's cases that have dragged on longer than 1 month. So if you're inside of Canada, usually processing times have improved significantly. IRCC has ramped up their processing and the response rates, so it's better now. Before it was significantly slower. If you're outside of Canada, obviously the embassies are even faster now in processing. They're not the fastest out there, but compared to pre-COVID, but right now they are processing study permits and work permits. Visitor visas are being processed, but not necessarily extremely fast, and especially if you're not vaccinated, it can, or if you're not the parents or grandparents of Canadian residents, it can even take longer because they do prioritize cases. Okay. If you're joining us and you've applied for the TR to PR pathway, yes, some people have heard back from the Canadian government on their permanent residency applications in May for TR to PR, right? The temporary pathway for international students, healthcare workers, and non-healthcare essential occupations. However, 90% have still not heard back. Okay, so processing is still being very slow relatively. However, keep your eyes out, ears open. We should get more results from the TR to PR applicants in the next few months. The only stream that's still open is the healthcare worker stream. Okay, so if anybody's watching and you were thinking of applying under international student stream, that closed within 48 hours on May 6th. The non-healthcare essential occupations, that closed about a month ago as well. Only the healthcare occupation stream for applicants inside of Canada is working right now. And again, if you are looking at applying for your study permit and getting your admission to school here in Canada, we're here to help. Study permits are being processed quite quickly. Okay, so most of our clients have been getting their approvals from the embassies with the study permits applications that we've been submitting for outside of Canada. We do help with the letter of acceptance from the schools. So if you have trouble with that, let us know, whether it's university, language school, or college. In terms of the having an IELTS, it's not mandatory. You can come through pathway. It depends on your nationality. So remember, if you're from Mexico, if you're from Chile, Colombia, these countries, it's easier to come in on a pathway without an IELTS. But if you are from high refusal countries overseas, Asia, Middle East, Africa, then not having the IELTS is going to really hurt your application, and potentially there's a high refusal rate. Okay, so if you're joining us now, just post a question on the comment section of whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, and we'd be happy to answer them live. So we have one question on our Instagram. Should students do anything special to use the 90-day duration after the study permit expiry date to apply for a postgraduate work permit? No, you should just apply for your postgraduate work permit when you graduate and you have a confirmation from your school. So even if it's just an email confirmation and you have some copy of your transcripts, or if it's a final confirmation, then just don't wait for the 90 days. Apply for your postgraduate work permit. That 90 days is just giving you time to apply. Okay, as soon as you graduate and you have that confirmation, the 90 days is irrelevant because you cannot work during that 90 days unless you have not graduated and you don't have a confirmation. So be very careful with that. There's a lot of confusion with that. It's like, oh, I've got 90 days till my study permit expires. I graduated 2 months ago. I'll keep on working. No, if you received a graduation completion notification a month ago, you should have stopped working. You can stay inside Canada during that 90 days, but you cannot continue to work. So the most important thing is to apply for your postgraduate work permit as soon as possible, right? So the point is, you want to get to work, you want to gain Canadian work experience, you want to be able to work full time immediately and not have your status inside of Canada expire. So that's really important. And again, anybody joining us today, we're back here at 5 p.m. Eastern time, North America Eastern time. We will have one of our colleagues who speaks Spanish. So if you join us today at 4 p.m. local time, Colombia, Mexico, the Latin America, we will have a Spanish-speaking colleague of mine who will join and translate and answer Spanish questions. Today we're just doing English right now, but if you missed us or you're watching this later, join us on every Tuesday, 9 a.m., 5 p.m. North America Eastern Standard Time. Post your questions here. Again, we're a licensed immigration firm here in Toronto. We are here to help people on Tuesdays, right? We get a lot of emails and messages, and we just ask people to come on Tuesdays, ask their questions, post it in the comment section, and we'd be happy to answer them live, okay? So if you have any questions, post them. Another point is, if you are a student who went back home to your home country while studying remotely and you graduated overseas, you are eligible for a postgraduate work permit, even if your study permit expired. So again, remember, if your study permit expired, your study permit was refused, your work permit expired, your work permit was refused. All these cases, we can help and we can answer your questions. So you can either do it yourself, ask a couple of questions. We'd help you out on Tuesdays. Another option is, you need a 1-hour consultation. That's fine. We also offer the full package where we handle everything A to Z. You want to come here with your family? Great. You're a student? No problem. We can handle that as well. So we support people who do their own application. We support people who just need a consultation to figure out how to do it or their eligibility. And we do the A to Z. What is the A to Z? Well, that means we take care of everything, right? everything. So we have a question on our Instagram asking, GK Hannes is asking, for CEC, so they mean Express Entry Canadian Experience Class, do we need more than lowest rate wage for that position? No, it's not 100% necessary, but you have to be within the market price, right? So let's say, you're a supervisor. If people who are not supervisors are getting paid the same as you and it's lower than the supervisor rate, that could raise concerns with the Canadian Immigration Department, and that could be a reason that they could not believe you and they could refuse it, right? However, it's not mandatory. So if the rate was 17 and you're getting paid 16, it doesn't mean you are not eligible. However, it should be the standard minimum wage for the province. That's 100%. Second, you cannot be like a managing director and making $14 an hour. So it has to be realistic. Okay. So if the minimum wage for that occupation in that region is, let's say, $20 and you're getting paid 14, that could increase your chances of refusal for express entry. But if, the wage is 17, you're getting paid 16, that doesn't matter, right? If the minimum wage is 15 and you're getting paid $14.50, that's fine, right? So it depends case by case. Your occupation, your region, the employer, right? All these things are considered by IRCC. There is some flexibility. It's not mandatory. However, if there's a huge gap, it will be an issue. Okay, so I hope I've answered your question, GK Hannes. If you have any other question, we'd be happy to answer. Today, we'll be back at 5 p.m. North America Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, which is, in South America and a lot of places, it's 4 p.m. We'll have a Spanish speaking colleague who can answer everybody in Spanish as well. So we will have a bilingual conversation and a free question answer period today, later on. We do update everybody on latest immigration news in terms of what's going on with IRCC. We are here every Tuesday. So if you missed this session, we're here live next Tuesday. If you're watching a recording of this, send us a message through our website. We'd be happy to help. And again, every Tuesday, you can catch us or you can watch the recording. And if there's no other questions, I assume everybody knows immigration fully because nobody's asking questions, right? But yeah, I mean, we're here to answer you. If you have any questions, we're happy to help outside or inside of Canada. And remember, everybody, within the next month, to get parents and grandparents sponsorship of more than 20,000 people will be invited. So they're already in the pool from last year, Canadian residents or citizens. So if you were in the pool last year, you were not selected or invited to sponsor your parents or grandparents, you will have another chance. You don't need to reapply or re-register. They will go back into the pool and select another over 20,000 potential sponsors of Canadians who want to bring in their parents and or grandparents. Okay, remember, you got to meet the minimum income level for the last 3 years based on your notice of assessments. If you have any questions on that, let us know. Again, we handle all the students, workers, family sponsorship, business immigration, startup visa. That is, of course, our specialty. Okay, if there's no more questions, we're going to sign off for today. We'll be back today again at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your local current local time zones and figure out the difference. But in Toronto, we'll be back again at 5 p.m. today. Okay, thanks, everybody. We're going to sign off here. Thank you for joining us. Instagram.